Okay, well here we are in the middle of tiling. Now it's all been wonderfully plastered, then I've painted the walls and painted all the ceiling and put the new lights in. Those are the two new spotlights, and that's the spotlight with the extractor fan which goes above the shower. So that wall's all tiled now. This wall's tiled and grouted, just needs cleaning a bit now. So we've got marble tiles on the wall. I've not used any backing board. I've tiled straight onto the plaster, which has been okay, especially with these big tiles. The problem with tiling straight onto plaster is, even though it looks flat and straight, it never is. That's why it's best to use backing boards, because they're perfectly flat. But because these are big tiles, I've been able to generally just sort of ride over the undulations, and it's not been easy, and they weigh a ton, but anyway, they're in. And yes, I've just finished tiling this side, and that's all above the shower. And then I'm just doing the final side. So what I've done is, what you do is you batten, in this case I've battened 30mm above the floor, and then you run all the tiles above, then come back and finish off the tiles below, and that way you get a perfectly flat, perfectly level tiles, and it's a way of finishing it off around the bottom. If the only other way of doing it would be to tile straight onto the shower and then carry on round, but then I'd only have like a 1-inch tile all the way around, which would look a bit silly. So always best to batten onto to tile onto battens, and then, like I say, I'm tiling onto the actual wall, and because of that there's quite a gap, because the wall just isn't flat, and so while it's sort of touching there, then it's like a mile out there. So it makes life difficult, but we're getting there. And then of course when it's finished, it is perfectly flat. Yeah, so that's okay. So I've just got to finish tiling this final wall, and then finish grouting all the rest of the tiles, and then we're getting there. There's the shower all in, and that's for the sink, and obviously for the toilet, and the bath is still here in the middle. But as soon as I finish tiling, then I'll be starting to I'll paint the floor, give it a rough coat of paint, and then put the bath, sink and toilet in, and actually get them plumbed in, which is the last sort of big job. Especially the bath, because it weighs so much, it weighs an absolute ton, so you've got to drag it into position, try and mark all the spots for the plumbing, then drag it back out of position, try and get all the plumbing in the right place, then drag it back into position and somehow connect the plumbing up, even with the bath against the wall. But anyway, we'll come on to that. But very pleased with the tiling. It's really beginning to look like a room now. I don't know if you can see it a bit now. This wall is going to be a wallpaper and skirt board at the bottom. So it's these three walls that will be all tiled. Really pleased, though. It's it's beginning to look like a bathroom.